Interrupt the honourable member. His time has expired.
Mr. Speaker.
I call the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to acknowledge the Honourable Damien O'Connor and his leadership on this issue amongst the Labour caucus, and I'd like to take a call, sir, to express my deep disappointment in the process which the House is right now debating. And I note, sir, that the government sees fit to override the normal provisions of standing orders in order to rush this crucial legislation through the parliamentary process, but it's not important enough for national MPs to take calls. Well, isn't that extraordinary, Mr. Speaker? And I hope that the public at home are noting this feature. I want to begin with a little homily on a, as you will see, closely related matter, although in a different industry. Mr. Speaker, in my first term as a backbencher, I sat on the Finance and Expenditure Committee, and a local bill came before the committee to demutualise the New Zealand Stock Exchange.
No, order. Order. This is a very narrow debate, and it's all to do with the report back time that has been reduced. The member must relate to that. Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, I apologise if I didn't make the linkage clear. The stock market demutualisation bill had a short report back time, and rather like this bill, sir, it was put to the Select Committee before there was a clear regulatory structure around the demutualisation. Mr. Speaker, on that occasion I felt so strongly about it that I led a backbench revolt against our own Minister and our own committee chair.
Order. This is a very narrow debate, and I refer the member to the Standing Order 286.3, and we are discussing those points, and the instruction that we are debating here is that the bill be reported by the Select Committee in 4 months or less. You cannot go and get involved in anything else. If the member doesn't bring it back, I will terminate the speech.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, I am, by analogy, going precisely to the issue of the report back time.
Well,
Mr. Speaker,
the member has been speaking for 3 minutes and hasn't come back to the point that I've made. The member must come back now to what this debate's about, a very narrow debate, and it's to do with the instruction that the Select Committee report in 4 months or less. That's what we're debating. That's what the instruction is. The Honourable David Cunliffe.
The point is this, that if it was good enough for us to hold up a bill to prevent an undue truncation of the consideration and to guarantee a proper regulatory framework, sir, I appeal to members of the National Caucus to exercise their conscience and good judgment and do the same with this bill. I appeal to members opposite to stand up, to defy the whip, and to stand up for future generations of New Zealanders.
Point of order, the Honourable John Banks.
I think this speaker should be wound up. 2863 is clear. It's got nothing to do with national parties sitting in the House, listening to this debate. It's very tight, it's very narrow. It's probably the most narrow and tightest procedural debate that we'll ever have in this Parliament, and he hasn't come back to the point.
I thank the member, and this will be the last time that I will ask the member to talk specifically on the instruction and the limited provisions that it is, otherwise I will terminate the debate. The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, the following are some of the reasons why this House may wish to refuse to grant the motion that is before it. Those reasons, with your conscience, those matters are as follows. Firstly, the importance of Fonterra as the earner of $1.05 of New Zealand's export income, of its status...
Come back to the debate.
Mr. Speaker, point of order, Mr. Speaker. I seek your guidance, Mr. Speaker.
I have given my guidance very clearly. We cannot talk about Fonterra or its principles or its objects. This is the last time. If the member deviates from what I've already ruled on, that's it. Honourable David Cunliffe.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order.
Mr. Speaker, I am in no way seeking to trifle with your ruling, which I accept and partially understand, sir, but I do seek your guidance. And I seek your guidance, Mr. Speaker, because I'm unclear how a member can address themselves to the grounds of this motion which is to truncate the normal select committee timetable for this bill around the structure of Fonterra without referring to the matter.
I've heard the member. If the member had been here earlier or had been listening to previous debates, there were some very good debates specifically on the subject, and they were very well received. And this is the last warning to the member. The member must come back to the instruction, that is, the reporting back time is 3 months or less, 4 months or less. Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, the report back time is too short. 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 The report back time is too short.
Order. The member is trifling with the chair. The debate is terminated.
Speaker.
Grant Robertson.